Hello, everybody, and welcome to this series and this session on what successful CEOs do, part one. And in this part one, we are focusing on vision and strategy. This will be a series that will run maybe for about 10 to 15 days, where I will be handling a couple of things that successful CEOs get to do. And today, of course, we're starting with the most important of them, which is vision and strategy. So, if you are a CEO of a company, a CEO of an institution, a growing business, then this session is actually for you. What do successful CEOs do? As a business consultant, business trainer with a decade plus of experience in four continents and more than 15 countries, consulting with top business leaders, I have experienced a couple of things that if CEOs consistently do and master how to do, it is going to help them, enable them to build thriving and sustainable companies that can even outlive them. So today we are looking at vision and strategy. Vision and strategy. And to talk about this, I would like to lay the foundation what strategy is all about. You know, Strategy from the word sometimes people can feel that it's one big scientific grammatical thing to do, right? But strategy is very simple to understand, but maybe the development and the execution of strategy is not as simple as it may sound. So, strategy basically refers to the sum of actions, the actions that a company, a business intends to take to achieve its long term goals. That's where you hear about strategic plans. Strategic plan for 3 years, for the next 5 years, for the next 10 years. That document contains the actions that that business intends to take to achieve the 5 year long term goals or the 10-year long term goals. The Strategy Implementation Institute also defines business strategy as a plan of action, right? As simple as that, a plan of action designed to achieve specific goals and objectives. One thing about strategy is not guesswork. That's why you will keep hearing the word design. You don't assume strategy. You spend time and you design it, and there are specific goals that you need to achieve with that strategy. So, and strategy helps a business to make choices of what to focus on and how to allocate the available resources to pursue so they can achieve their objectives. So that is what strategy is all about. And it's something that it is critical to spend some time to actually know whether you are an experienced CEO or you are starting in this journey in the corporate world, in the business world. It's important to understand this. So when it concerns strategy, when it concerns vision and strategy, there are a couple of things that I always encourage, and it's important for CEOs to actually know and get to do. And number one of them is that you need to know how to develop a clear and compelling company vision that people can understand. That's where clear is coming in, and something that can convict the heart of anybody that hears about it. Right? That's the meaning of vision. You need to develop a clear and compelling purpose, intention that can convict the heart of people. So a good CEO spends time to develop a clear and compelling company vision that people can buy into and begin to contribute. And vision can be a lifetime vision for the business, and it can also be a yearly vision. A CEO can say, for this year, our vision is to do this for the company. It's very clear and it's compelling and the people understand. And one thing about developing a vision for the business is the CEO does not do it alone. But most of the time, those who are at the startup level, who are still starting up, most of the time they craft their vision alone because they are still a one-man army. But a good vision will need you to consult some key people in your organization. It could be departmental leaders, it could be some senior executives like chief financial officers, chief marketing officers, chief operations officers, chief human resource officers. You need to develop this vision with input from these core people. The second thing that a CEO should be doing is effective collaboration with the person in charge of managing finance. In some companies, they have what they call finance officers, chief finance officers, accountants, whoever is in charge of managing the money, the finance officer. There should be, when it comes to vision and strategy, there should be effective collaboration between the CEO and the chief finance officer. Why? Because whatever you're developing as a vision for that year, for the next 10 years, whatever you're developing as strategy, you need money. You need money to make that come to pass. And just because you have a vision and you're excited about it doesn't mean that you have the financial capability to make that vision happen. So you need to collaborate specifically with your finance person. And of course, you can also consult with other people, right? If your vision, for example, and your strategy is focusing a lot on increasing sales, then you need to talk with your marketing guy, with your marketing person, so you see that you get it done the right way. The next thing that a CEO should do when it concerns vision and strategy is regular review and update of the strategic plan. And this can only happen if there is an existing strategic plan. It could be a 1 year strategic plan, a 3 year strategic plan, 5 years, 10 years. But a plan that is outdated is of no use to the business. A good CEO consistently review the strategic plan. Are we on course? And if we are not on course, what do we need to update? What has happened that is pushing us to update our strategic plan so we can align with where this industry is going to or where the market is going to? For example, many serious companies and serious CEOs who had long-term strategic plans, let's say from 2018 and upward or 2019 and upward, because of COVID-19, they were forced, or they should have been forced, to update that strategic plan, because any strategic plan that probably existed 2 years before COVID-19 did not anticipate COVID-19. But COVID-19 happened, and people were forced to move online. People were forced to start practicing intensive digital transformation, right? And that automatically affects the strategic plan. So based on the business performance, based on what is happening, a good CEO pays attention to the strategic plan already developed and consistently updated, so that it is not outdated, because you never know what can happen and anybody else will need to consult the strategic plan, right? The next thing that a CEO gets to do when it concerns vision and strategy is evaluating the impact of industry trends and changes on the company's strategy. What are the latest industry trends? What are the latest industry changes? And how will these trends and changes affect the company strategy, affect your business strategy. Like I was talking about COVID-19, a good CEO should evaluate maybe post COVID-19, what was really the impact of COVID-19. Maybe customers' buying behavior change. For example, customers that used to come and buy on site, they now desire that they now want to buy online and we deliver to their houses. And what is the percentage of customers who no longer want to come to the business premises to buy and want to buy online? How is this affecting the overall company strategy? For example, technology. Maybe in the last 2 years, the rise of AI, more apps around AI, more platforms around AI, ChatGPT, and all of these AI platforms are disrupting almost all industries. These are changes that they are not going to go back. They will keep on happening. Whether you're in the village, you're in the city, you're in a semi-urban area, these things will affect your business as a leader. So you need to start evaluating the impact of these industry changes and trends and how they are affecting the operations of your business, the company strategy, and most importantly, how to adapt. Not only adapting, but also being proactive, anticipating. And that's one thing about is developing a strategic plan, having a strategy. It helps you not to only adapt or to react, but to also be proactive as far as the future of your business is concerned in that particular market. Another important thing that a CEO should do when it concerns vision and strategy is learning how to identify the key stakeholders of the business of the company and communicating the vision and the strategy to all these stakeholders. Every business has key stakeholders. And as a CEO, it's your responsibility to identify the key stakeholders as far as your business is concerned and communicate, this is my vision for the year. This is my vision for the month. This is the strategy for the next 3 years. You need to communicate. It could be departmental heads, internal stakeholders, the employees, board of directors. It could be external stakeholders, maybe partner companies, sister companies, government agencies, whoever that is directly affected by the operations of your business and deserves to know what your vision is about and the strategy you're putting in place. It is important that you communicate because you will need their buy-in sometimes. You will need their support. And people do not support what they don't understand. And that is the power of communication. The last thing I want to talk on this topic, which of course we cannot exhaust, but I think the key things have been highlighted, is that when it concerns vision and strategy, one good thing that a good CEO does is they review the competence and the skill set of the employees if they have what it takes to make the vision happen, if they have what it takes to implement the strategy. Look, it is possible to have a very good strategy, but because you don't have competent, skillful employees, you will not be able to implement the strategy. So when you do this, you can carry out research, you can carry out training, you can carry out what they call, in other words, carry out a skills gap analysis in your team just to know, okay, this is the vision, this is the strategy, this is where we want to go. Now, these are the people in the business. Do they have what it takes to make this happen? If not, you may start organizing refresher courses, bring in experts, send them on conferences and workshops, whatever you can do, because a strategy, a vision without a human resource to implement that strategy will not go anywhere. I hope that you learned something interesting in this session on what you should be doing as a CEO. Part 2 we will be talking about another important thing that successful CEOs do or should be doing. Cheers.